in your situation where, you know, but this, you can see this man is highly stressed out. That you see the workers, those that are coming to him and everything, he's done already. But I picked this picture to signify the fact that probably the pocket is what dry. ECG. Okay? So the employer is more concerned, one, about the stressful nature of its employees, because it affects productivity. And so that is the reason why this training, for instance, is very crucial. Let's move on. That we organize for a hospital. Now you see the delegates, the people who are there were taken through how they will relieve their stress. Because they actually had to come in with a view that they are more stressful. And so that is the reason why the company sponsored them for the training. And it will interest you to know the reason why they are stressful at work. There's no money in the pocket. There's no money in the pocket. Okay? So it is very much important. The employee or the employer is much more concerned about the welfare of the people. And the welfare of the people, it must start from the pocket. Once your pocket is good, once you come to work, you will smile. And it will energize you to do massive or smart work. And that is where the productivity will come from. Statistically, there is this survey that shows that stress comes from a lot of areas. But there is a percentage that is attached to the fact that the employee could be stressful from the financial situation that he or she finds himself. So 18% is saying that the employee could be stressful or could gain stress from the fact that there is no money in his pocket. I don't know your stress level. I don't know what gives you stress. But if you may ask or find out from here, what really stresses you? And that has a negative impact on the work. Anybody? It's an interactive session. You will get to where we will do some small exercises and here and there. What brings the stress? Yes, sir. You want to share something?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If I can do something small. The work, the institution is demanding from you for productivity, outage. You have to restore supply. So the work, the pressure on you. Oh, get your men, get ready. By 8 you should get to site. So immediately you come to work in the morning, the pressure on you to put things together to site, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
So how much more? The institution itself is putting some pressure on. At home, the pressure that is coming from home is not anything. It is the pocket. So how do you can you imagine when you get to work how all these circumstances would affect your performance?
Yes,
So
exactly.
these areas are the areas that we can really get our stress from. And I really wanted to emphasize the fact that our financial or our pockets also make us stress sometimes. Yes, sir.
Sometimes also it comes from maybe occupational, your boss.
Okay.
If the person is very bossy,
Okay.
you find it very difficult even to come to work or even to work under the person.
All right.
So it makes your productivity level comes down.
Comes
Sometimes you want to even move away from the person.
Motivation is not there. All right. I think that aspect is it also works. It works perfectly well. So as part of what we do, okay, as an organization, is the fact that we also teach people leadership, how to lead and lead well. So like you are saying, your boss, somebody who is supposed to be, taking oversight responsibility, take care of the people, some way, somehow, motivate them, encourage them, give them what they need to be able to work. It's not looking at that, and it's rather causing a lot of, chaos at work. It affects performance. It affects performance. But like I said, we are here to talk about our pockets. If in future we are invited to talk about leadership and management, we will deal with that one. Okay. All right. Any other? Yes, madam.
know that you are working and there's no motivation, that one too is also gives stress.
It gives stress. Motivation is very good. There's a session that I held somewhere, St. John's Hospital. I mean, top management. And then there was a question. Is there the need for motivation before you work, or you have to work before you motivate you? Work before they motivate you. But there is somebody, a staff, who is also looking for motivate me before I work to get the energy to work. Okay, so that is not the discussion. Okay. All right. Yes, sir.
As for me, I think financial stress is the most stress.
Okay.
Because if you have that financial stress from home, it will affect every aspect of your life, in your work, everywhere. Because from the home you don't have a peace of mind. So when you come to work, it will affect your work. So maybe the stress from the occupational stress, maybe it's just last between 8 hours.
Okay.
If you close, you go. But the financial stress, that one live with you 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yes.
24 hours. I like that. 24 hours. Because you see, you left the home stressed. You are even thinking of how to go back home. Because that is where it started from. And it will not end when the pocket has not been enriched. Okay, so financial stress is a very serious thing. It's a very serious thing. That is the reason why it is very much important for everybody to fight for how you become your own. Because you are like the gazelle, always running. You don't have your freedom, always afraid. Something else is chasing after you. So it's a plan. It's something that we need to have a conscious effort in developing, so that even after our retirement, the 40 years that we will live thereafter, how are you going to live? Because God has promised us He will give us long life. So 60 years you are going to live for the next 40 years, 100 years. 40 years gap, how are you going to manage? That is a discussion here. So we will look at that one and then discuss. All right. Any other thing?
Yes. I
Yes,
want to buttress my brother's financial issue.
Okay.
And the worst part of it is that an institution will generate an income and you are not being motivated. That will worsen the situation.
Okay. Yeah, so he is also stressing on motivation. It looks like motivation is a subject. Okay? It looks like motivation is a subject. So you look at all these things. Every training we write reports, and based on the feedback from the people, we write to management. So you look at that. Motivation is very good. Anywhere I have been to, I will stress on the fact that motivation is good. What fuel the car to move is motivation. And what is the motivation? The fuel. The fuel. So you must have money in your pocket to be able to run for productivity. The question is that if employee A is paid 2,000, employee B is paid 2,000, one is running, the other is chasing. Why? The bad behavior, the attitudes, or the things that we put on ourselves. The next time we are buying the new phone in town, these are the things that will make one person a better off than the other person. And that is the reason why this session has been arranged. What stress means? Impact on corporate performance. Negative stress results in loss of motivation. The person is stressful, so when he comes to work, he doesn't want to work. He has lost the appetite for the job. So he comes, and then when the customer is even talking, and then he can even shout or do something when he's supposed to be nice. So the motivation, when it is not there, really affect the performance. And where did the motivation, or where did the loss of motivation come from? It came from the fact that the person is already financially stressed. Reduce effectiveness. You are not performing. So the source of the reason why you are not making your budget, meeting the expectation of the institution, is the fact that it came from stress. And the stress came from where? The fact that there is no money in the pocket. Mentally, physically, and behavioral problems. Sometimes people even go some way. The work-life attitude, how they're supposed to behave, they are not behaving well. Why? Because he has even quarreled from the house before coming. And where did the quarrel come from? came from the fact that there is no money. So there are certain behaviors, there are certain things that do not augur well in the space for corporate work, productivity. And the reason is certainly sometimes it's coming from the fact that there is no money in our pockets. Yes, sir.
A financial stress that we are talking about. If you have the training, you can manage your finances well. Maybe one, we are paid the same, but this one is okay because he's managing well. He's financially disciplined, but I'm not financially disciplined. So always I find myself in need of money. The stress will dawn on me. But if I have the training, I'll also be in a position to manage my finances well. That's why I'm calling in for the young ones.
Yes. But you see, when I realized we were talking retirees. When you say retirees, it's as if it's final. Now the chapter has been what? Closed. No, it's not closed. It's not closed. Because people, you are engineers, you are people with technical know-how. Okay, so once you are out there with the experience and with the knowledge that you have, you can start something. And that is the fresh page that we want to discuss and open. So that whilst you are out of here, you can still be productive in terms of managing your own affairs. And the little investment that you want to make, know the appropriate, areas or places where you have to do your investment so that you become well off to live your next 40 years. That is the discussion. So I am not buying into, yes, even though your suggestion is good, the young ones need it. They need it so that they plan very well. So that they don't get to the point where they say, oh, had I known, I should have started a long time. It happens. In my 15 years of experience with the insurance space, that is what they say. Oh, you should have come early. Oh, you should have come about 2 years ago. Okay? The woman's one I use as an example, the one that had the 50,000. At the time when we did the presentation there were other people, but she being the branch manager and a few other people, I think about 4 people, only subscribed to it. Now when she got her 50,000 about a month ago, she called me and then, she got her 50,000. Now other people in her branch are now calling for the same policy. So what happened about 4 years ago when she took it? They are now sitting up. Okay? So it's like that. We all will not start at the same time. Some will catch up or get the information later on. But it is never too late. Is it better late than never? Right. So, okay. So, let me say that, I don't know, boss, how long have you worked with the EC?
So, for the past 27 years.
27 years.
Yes, sir. More than that.
No problem.
No problem. Okay, so let's know, how long have you worked for EC?
Going to 27 years.
You two, you are around the same region. Okay, the question to you is that, how have you, from the time you, 27 good years, you collected money, a lot of money? Yes, from your work. Okay, so the question is that, do you work for the money or the money working for you? All the monies that you've collected for the past 27 years. What has that money done for you? Do you always, at the end of every month, expect to take the money? It's like you are working for the money. The money, when you get it, what does the money do for you? That is the other side.
It keeps us alive. We use it to keep alive.
To keep alive?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the money is some they say take home. It doesn't even take a lot of people.
Okay. That is your point.
Yes,
yes, sir.
I can understand where you are coming from. That since you are employed from the beginning, you are working for money, but as a certain level, you must invest so that money also be working for you.
For you. Because so the question is that, you have accumulated or you've taken a lot of money. Okay? Now, the money must not necessarily, like my senior brother said, or father said, that the money must take care of you. Yes, of course, the money must take care of you. But we will learn how the money must take care of us. Okay? So apart from the money taking care of us, it must work a certain, goal, expectation. It must work for you. All right? So when we say money works for you, it is actually saying that you must also sit somewhere where the investment that you place, okay, it is not your sweat anymore. That if you don't come to work, go as an engineer, go to the site, do this, do that, then you receive the money. Okay? Now this time around, it's not like that. The monies that you've collected from going here, there, doing your normal job, the money that you've collected, you send the money somewhere, and you sit, and the money also bring you something. That is money working for you. Okay? And money working for you is simply an investment. So you place your money in some investment vehicle. That at the end of the day, you sit down, and then the money also gives you a return. That is money working for you. All right? And I believe some monies are working for us somewhere.
Sir, if you understand you well.
All right.
When I started working.
How many years?
I'm almost 20, getting to 28.
Oh, okay.
28. So when I started working, I started saving. So along the line, I was going to withdraw some, and then a banker saw she actually saw my money.
Okay.
My money. And this why is that the money sitting at your savings? He's doing nothing. So why don't you invest some in the treasury bill, so that the one that it will come in, the one on it, the interest one, you can rather use it to. Initially, I told her that I want to save it so that I can use to bill. And she said no. I should use that money to invest in the treasury bill.
All right.
Then the interest that will come out. I should rather use that one to bill.
All right.
So I did that, and truly, it has helped.
So that is a good testimony here. So, as in the principal, it is not the principal you are chopping from. So when we receive our salary and we are chopping the salary, it's like eating your eggs and expecting the egg to lay some chicken for you. No. So it is the money that is working for you, getting you returns on your investment. The principal will always be there. So that is more money working for you. Any other view? Okay, so at least now we understand that there's a difference between you working for the money and then the money working for us. And all these two dimensions over here, it calls us discipline. Because then my senior brother will say that money no, by the time it gets to you, it is already gone. It is finished already. Yes, so how do you get some, or how do you apportion some for investment? You will learn what it means to what. You see, because the money that comes to you at the end of the month, there must be more or less a budget. Because if you don't budget for it, you will spend it. And we don't spend before we budget. No. Because the money is not enough. Even if they pay you at the Flagstaff House or wherever, the people at the top, they will tell you their money is not enough. My experience with the banks, everywhere I've been to, they will tell you their monies are not enough. So it causes us to discipline ourselves to be able to invest. Investment is discipline. Otherwise, you chop it. What does money mean to you? Chief, when you receive money, what does it mean to you? Or when you hear money?
Spending.
I like the way you put it. Money, when you see money, go and spend.
Spend it.
Spend it.
Then you die and leave it. So for 1931, 1931, maybe now you are not left.
So very interesting, and it's an honest truth that when he sees money or when he hears money, anytime money comes to, he must go somewhere. He must perform a certain assignment. Money must always perform a certain assignment. And he has chosen the assignment that the money must do. That is it. Yes, ma'am.
You have to plan.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there is.
Having started the service, there's a season. There was a time that we were born, and said the time will come that we leave the earth. And our preparation towards existence, as exist the world. Certain the same way, there's a time that ECG employers will welcome. Certain there will be a time that we exist the company. How ready are we? Just as been said, a life after death, how good to be, you have to prepare. Not the same way, life after retirement. There's another issue whereby the income will not be coming as this week. How ready are we? Have we said enough? Have we got enough poverty? Maybe at that point in time, we might have some still dependence, they will still depend on us. But are we ready for it? All depends on training and then preparation and then how will we train and talk to. Or else the thing existing. It could be some Finland, it could be some years. But yes, sir, certainly, no matter how limited the time is, let's see the little what they can do. And after the important one has to be your listening. Where you lay your head on retirement, your property. If for nothing at all, at least, landlord will not come and then evict you. Your health care is not taken at that point, maybe under rainy and then for some time, you will not be able to pay your rent and then they have to evict you and then how disgraceful it can be. At times, some will also try to go to the family house, and if you are not careful to during your active time, you can't contribute anything to your listening family. Like I say, Sisieni. Of all this time, when you're active and I didn't mind now that you come back and then you can storm the family. So at least this is the time we have to see our best and literally what you can put together and then it might not be sufficient at least it can cater for a little while. So that's why I frustrated take us through and then see our best can prepare. And then we have to set our mind. I remember when I understand our former president, Lawrence, when he left the scene, at the time there was a point where if the bus went out to this castle, we were told. But at that time, maybe it wasn't far. Still, we didn't mind, he thought that still that president. So maybe when we might think, like, in the now, no, but definitely to come to pass. So let's see our best to take the train and then take one of those. No matter what, no matter how it happens, and then if we reduce our age, yes, it will never come to come. It will never come to pass. That one, no matter what happens. Just as I said, there's always a death. So a time come and then we have seen the company and then as the how ready, how prepare and then that's what it is. This is going 10 years for some of this training. Just prepare our mind, prepare our body, prepare our soul, everything towards that period. And at that point in time, so you might be active in. But the other should have to tell us how, if you want to go in retirement, how for us to behave. I've been told that at least when you go to time, maybe don't be anything work and they can easily affect your body. You will not be exercising, you know, just go and work out, you wake up in the morning bath and then maybe, on retirement so there's nothing I take and then some laziness and it can affect the body, it can affect them. You are instead. If you don't train, if you don't exercise, if you don't train the mind, it can affect you or thinking about all those things. So on that note, I want to thank the facilitator to take us from that. Equip us that to prepare our mind, prepare our body, prepare our soul. So come next month and listen. Some of us to at least next come next year, we're all going. So a show no matter whatever. So as I said, no, I read that. So on that note, I thank you and then your training is fully working. Thank you.
Thank you very much. any other opinion that we can share? Money means it, I mean, a lot to us.
Money answers all.
Okay, so to you, money answers all. So are you not then subscribing to what he's saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Another way to me, it means that when they give you money, it means they think.
Okay. Okay. It means that when money comes to you, you must think. Because the money, by virtue of it coming, it did not just come because you are handsome. The money came because you already had done some work, sweat. So the rate at which it must not go quick. You get it, sir? It must not go quick like the way, because you did not get it quick. Quick things will just go like that. All right. Any other, then we move. Yes.
I
Yes.
said, you have to plan.
How to plan. Okay, so do we get the money? Because there is a saying that, for instance, some people, if you ask them, they need help. You say, you give me the money, then I will tell you what I will do. Right. So yeah, so you plan before the money comes. All right. So we will do some planning here. Yes, sir.
I'm saying money is a resource.
Okay.
But when it comes to you, like Madam said, not only planning, you also have to pay yourself.
Okay.
And you also have to invest part.
Right. I like that part where you say you have to pay yourself. And paying yourself is the savings. So just like you work for ECG and the ECG pay you at the end of the month, when you receive the money, pay yourself first. The money you have received is not yours. All of them, 100%. There's a portion of the money that is yours. Take it, pay yourself. And paying yourself there is the investment that you have to make. Either 10% or 20%, depending on your budget, as Madam said. So that 20% or 10% is what you pay to yourself. The rest goes into your planning, your budget, the goals that you have set for yourself, as in your estate planning, your insurance, and other areas that you want to distribute the money, the income. It's a resource. You need to judiciously distribute it well. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any balance. There wouldn't be any balance. And the balance will definitely catch you up. Some way, somehow, sometime. Okay? All right. How do you look at yourself as when you see money? When you have money, how is your posture? Your personality, how then you become happy. So your personality is that anytime they see you being happy, it means there is money in the pocket. Right? So is it the same way? The picture I showed to you,
Yes.
the guy in the office, the mood, is he looks some way. So that means something else is happening. The boss must identify this and see that there is no money in the pocket. So your personality is that when money comes everywhere, you are happy. Is that not so? Right. Now, your priorities. You will set priorities here. Chief said that, oh, then this training should have come when we were young, when we started. Because priorities must be set so that it will guide you into the future. It is not when you are exiting that, but like I said, the exiting is not the end. There is more life out there. So how do you even prioritize the benefit that you receive into the next 40 years that you live? How do you prioritize your expectations, your goal, so that it doesn't become like money once you receive, you must go, so that the pocket will always continuously be dry? No. Your financial decisions, you will look at that one. There is a quiz we will do shortly to establish our financial position now. It's like going to the hospital and the doctor checking your temperature. So we want to check our financial temperature very soon, so we will know whether we have to be put on an intensive. All right. Okay, so your ideal financial life, Chief said, for him he wants to be happy all the time. So being happy all the time it means that money is in his pocket. Your financial life, how do you want to see yourself? Can you describe your financial life? Chief, you haven't spoken. You will speak. For yourself, you will look at that. Your expectation for your partner, don't forget. this exercise should have even included your partners at home, but they are not with ECGs. Okay? Yes, because you plan and you cannot plan alone. Whatever decision you take at the end of the month, the money that comes, it is not only for yourself. You have partners at home. Sometimes, you know, the misalignment of goals and expectations really put our plans in a lot of situations. Especially when, you know, one person is working, the other party is not working. And then again, where there is the fact that, you know, there is no contribution or one, you know, togetherness and all these things, it really affects your financial goals and expectations.
Financial discipline issue. Every month, I draw my scale of preference. I do family meetings with my wife, my children. I look at their wants, then I bring it on board. I draw my scale of preference, the most important ones at the top. So every month, I know how to disburse my money. Then the surplus is the accounts of the savings. That is how I do.
That is your formula.
Exactly, my formula.
And it's good. It's good that at least at the end of every month or before the month ends, there is a sit-down meeting with the caucus. When you say caucus, he's talking about his family, the members, those that will train him, those that will make the resources go.
The lions.
Yes, the lions. The lions. And you see, sometimes the lions are not necessarily human beings.
Yeah.
The lions are the issues at home. The issues at home.
That will chase you.
Yeah, that will change you. Okay, so like Chief said, you know, make sure it is not at the time where you get to retirement that you begin to struggle with paying your rent. Because the rent is the lion. The rent is the lion that will chase you. Okay? Right. Very good. How do you overcome financial hardship? I believe we all know that is setting our good expectations, budgeting and so on and so forth. So we look at that one too. What do you value most in your financial life? What do you place as a key value in terms of your expenditure? If you want to spend when you receive your salary, 100%, what do you place as your topmost value in your financial life?
For instance, this month, school fees.
School fees.
Exactly.
Okay, so for you, because you have meetings with your family almost every month, the needs or the expectations change
Exactly.
depending on the month.
Exactly.
And I like the star. It may not run through all the months, depending on the expectations and depending on having gone through the priorities and then the expectations and everything, the purposes and then everything. Then he would then say that, okay, this one will have to come on top of what? All the issues. And he begin to spend. I like it. Yes, sir, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, after you should value what you use as an investment.
Okay.
The most.
Okay. So you are also talking about the fact that, okay, so you need to place an emphasis on what you take from the money you receive and where you are pushing the money.
Yes.
That is where your value is.
Yes.
His value, you see, we have different mindsets. His value is that the problem must leave him so that he can think straight. He's also thinking of, let me take portion of the money and then set it aside somewhere. That one I would also say that, okay, I'm free. You know, some people, when the problems come, let's say 1,000, the problems have come in their numbers. If they have some money with them, they must settle all the problems for them to be fine. Even if you had to take all the 100% of their money, income, to settle all the problems, then they are fine. Without thinking of the future side. The future side is the investment, where you would have to think of placing value on the future first, and then coming back to the fact that some of the issues can be postponed. You can bargain, you can negotiate with the people. It all depends on the attitude, the consumer preference, like a new TV has come. Somebody, a lion in the house, I'm not saying anything. Something in the house is saying that we don't like our present TV, so let's go and get a new one. Okay? Then you look at your budget and you realize that no. Do you have to satisfy his condition as in let's send some money for the future, or let's get the TV so that there will be peace at home? It's a choice, it's a decision. But don't forget, whatever decision you make, you live to meet it one day. Because TV, new brand will come. Phone, new ones will come. The question is that, do you really understand the future and what this future holds for? Some things are investment, others are just for luxury. So you must be mindful of that one. All right. Any question so far? Okay. Sometimes if there is no money in your pocket, it is not only that you are stressful, but sometimes it looks like you are sick. So we want to check whether some of us are sick. Not sick as in medically, but financially, no, at least. Some things must be done before even we exit. But we still want to check our financial temperature. So let's use like 5 minutes to run through this. Simply to say that when you start from the financial fitness quiz, take this quiz to get an idea of how you are managing your money. Choose the score that best describes your current financial management practice. 5, it means always. There are some questions over there. Then 4, usually. 3, sometimes. 2, seldom. 1, never. Or no, or don't know. Response who range from 20 to 100 with higher score indicate better performance of recommended financial practice. So then you come to financial management. You see this dash over here. That is where you put either 5, 1, 2, depending on what the answer yes. So for instance, I have a checking account, a check account. I mean that's in current account.
Yeah.
Yes. With which to pay bills. Do you have something like that? Yes. So you look at 1 to 5, whatever the answer is, then you put them. Okay. When you finish, you put all of them together. Once you put them together, depending on your score, it will indicate whether you have to be sent to an intensive care.
That one is
yes, a separate current account, an account. Yes, yes. But you cannot say that I will choose everything 5, 5, 5, 5 so that it will. No, because then you will not be truthful to yourself. The question is scientific. Okay.
That's why if you put the figures there, you raise it, and you come out, it's sweat, it's not.
Yeah, you are deceiving yourself.
So don't just put the figures.
You have to understand.
Yeah, right.
Right. Understand it.
Okay, so let's move.
Are you?
Let's move to the next savings and then investment. Savings and investment. And I hope that one too we have the budget.
26.
26. 28. You are sitting closer. You should be having the same. 23. Okay. Yes, sir.
Got
30. Your plan is working.
25.
25. Okay.
28.
28. 24. Okay. Okay. Is it reflective of the situation?
Yeah.
Right. 25. Okay. You see, I'm not checking your temperature. These two people, cocos, they are always discussing.
The issue is this. The thing is, no, I had 18.
18.
The reason was that I have a savings savings account, and at that time the interest, I don't know, I'll go in and take the amount.
And so do what with that?
I use it to buy materials for other projects. So so that's why I had 18. So I was sincere to myself.
Okay. Sincerity is good.
Yeah. I must also say, all of us, we have a mutual fund. All of us. We have about 2. I know the 2 there is constant for every staff, but some also go further to do some on their own.
Yes. So here it will better your performance.
Exactly. That's why most are doing well.
Right. So those that are doing well are those that have gone a step further.
Yes,
Right. So it's good. The last option, insurance and estate planning. Yes, sir.
I have only 3.
You have 3. Okay. 11. Far better.
I also have 3.
You had 3. Okay, so it means that you don't have insurance.
No.
See, is he speaking the truth over here? Yes. Okay. You had 8. You had 3. Do you have insurance? Okay. And then are you planning your estate? All right. There is. Yes, sir. You had 12. Okay, better. Okay. Yes, madam. 4. Do you have insurance?
Yes, I have.
You have insurance. Are you planning your estate? You have. Okay. Right. Okay. So this exercise is just trying to give us an overview of who we are in terms of our financial position. Whether there is something else that needs to be done or not. So you see, it is not. I did not just ask you for you to get me this information. By virtue of the exercise you have done, you have been able to unveil yourself as in what your true financial health is, such that if you are to take a decision, then we will be able to take a decision and do what we're supposed to do to better our lives going forward. And so there is another assignment, or there is another exercise. We are not doing it now, we do it as we progress, so that we set the goal. A technical person, this is your field, all right? But the institution should be able to put a system in place such that even within your field, you can still be supervising or you can still be moving to other areas.
To get exposure.
Exposure, all right? I don't know your areas. I would have used that as an example, okay? Now, let me put it this way. For instance, when I used to be working for Old Mutual, I started as a field person. You know, field people, they go out looking for clients and then everything. Then at a point in time, having, you know, been, you know, I've acquainted myself well, I've done well, you know, so there was a promotion. I mean, there was a means for people to apply to occupy some other, space. Of course, like you were saying, if there should be any promotion or if there should be any movement, it depends on what you have also put on yourself in terms of value. So in my case, for instance, whilst first degree, I started working for the company, then Provident Life, okay, as a field person. Then I was there, work, field person, first degree. Then I went to do my masters. Then Old Mutual came to buy Provident Life. So opportunity has met what preparation. The preparation was that I was going to school, okay, while still on, doing the work. So the opportunity met with the preparation that I was making. Then there was a sales manager position. Then I applied. I got to become a sales manager. I'm no longer a field person. You get a point. I have moved, even though the same company, I have moved from what I used to be or be doing at that level to another level, which is managerial. Now, when I was a field person, I was alone, moving, looking for clients. Now you have people under you, say maximum of 20 that you are managing. It gives you extra responsibility, managing. Then I worked for, I was a sales manager for only a year, and some branches were open. Okay, so opportunities have been created. Then I became a branch manager for Old Mutual in Cape Coast. You see the point? I have moved the ladder. Over there to now, you are not only managing people, you are managing systems and a whole setup. So it means you need to report on certain things. It adds to the thing. It was even at that level that you were doing much more of this financial leadership program. Before I resigned, you were doing that for University of Cape Coast. The lecturers and the whole university was given to me to do the financial leadership. If for instance I did not resign, I strongly would believe that I wouldn't have been with Old Mutual.
Okay.
Or even if I was still there, I would have moved from being a branch manager to the next level. You get the point?
But what about if you have not upgraded yourself?
Yes.
Is it good to stay at one place for very long time?
Where do you move to if you have not upgraded yourself? They need to fetch for you. You see, your value increases.
Excuse me.
I'll come back.
In our situation, it's different. We have the upgrading and the promotion. Every 4 years, you need to be promoted. Whether you upgrade yourself or not.
Whether you are performing or not performing.
You need to perform. Definitely they will look for appraisal.
Yes.
But you are due for promotion to the next level. The upgrading is you've gone to do further studies, then that one you apply for upgrading.
Okay.
Yeah, that one is there. All right. So it's two different things.
Two different things. Okay. So your experience on the job will qualify you for promotion.
Exactly.
Automatic promotion every 4 years.
Okay. So by virtue of your experience, you qualify for promotion.
Exactly.
All right. The question: you are not only mindful of the fact that you are being promoted. When the promotion is not inuring to your pocket, you get a point. Somebody may not have your technical experience, but he's there.
Yeah.
You understand? So there are issues in here.
Then, if you want to talk the political,
When you meet your budget, what comes in? Motivate the people. Training is part of motivation. Giving them knowledge, because knowledge you cannot sell it. When you give them knowledge, like you were saying, this one should have come long time. Maybe he came, but he did not attend.
No, it was
He did not come.
It was around this time that this kind of
Oh, okay.
seminars are organized for the
It
age.
used not to be so.
No.
Okay.
Even if it used to be so, they will do it when just like
Yes.
that would be the best
time.
By the time you get to this age, you don't even need to organize this seminar for us.
No, I'm listening.
So like if they had already done it, but you even now you don't need to organize anything. Not that
Because we would
they are organizing
been
such a program
financially
for us.
sound.
You leave this room and you'll be sad because you have not met certain things.
You see, that was why
Yes.
when I came, happens, let's say if you are to go in the next 6 months, the person, it will affect the person's work.
Psychologically.
Psychologically and morally, it will affect the person because me know one leg is outside. I'm going. You understand? So why should I kill myself for anything? And what you need to do for me, you should have come much more earlier for me to have prepared myself. But you see, they said better late than never. Like I said, retirement is not, it is not when you exit your former, whatever. What you are going to do out there, unless you don't believe the fact that you are going to live for long. Because always, all the time, you also think that once you are going, it means that you are going to. This is why you will not survive for long.
That's the perception. That's the perception.
That is the perception, because you see what brings in that perception. The fact that there's no money, stress, and other things. So it certainly would want to what? It will bring your strength and everything down. And continuously, sickness and other things, by the time you realize, you retire in the next 5 years and he's no more.
Stress.
Okay?
Lots of negative thinking. It will reflect.
No matter how you are, there's a saying that as our GM said, there is time for everything. There is a time for a child to be born. There's a time for someone to die.
Exactly.
Once you started the way, the retirement will go by. So once the management were able to point out those people that this man is getting to retirement, so let's organize them and then do some refresher courses to prepare their mind.
Right.
I think they should have known that some people have been stagnant in one position for a long time, and it's time for that person to be promoted, and they not look at that aspect. And the person is due, people are being promoted, is still marking time there. Someone that be a former for almost over 15 years is still there. And then you are able to select those people that like this man by next 3 or 4 years is going to retirement, and you are training him. But what motivation are you giving him to go out? At least you must look at him that this man, he has sacrificed enough for the company. So something must be done to him, at least to make him a better person, happier going home.
All right.
Than to go home with that sadness in his body.
All right.
Yeah.
One aspect that we should also look at is when you are employed, you are made to believe that deductions are made from your salary at the end of every month.
We will look at that tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, but you continue. We will look at that.
And saved somewhere.
Okay.
And it's managed by Smith.
Yeah.
So that those who cannot by their own do some investment or put some money aside for investments, they know at least they have something being put down, because on your payslip you see the deductions all the time. But at the end of it, or when you are about to exit, you only go to Slate and you realize that what they have put down there for you is peanut. You understand? So the whole thing needs to be revised.
That's correction. Saying that I've done it. I have gone to check recently. They paid off in this year.
No, I'm not saying that they don't pay. But now you know the kind of calculations Smith is making. Those who went home previously, they had a lump sum of money that they can do. Check the system.
Because of tier
So to add sleep there to better our lives or to make it worse.
Okay.
So you understand what is going on?
Okay, so this for tomorrow. Yeah, for tomorrow. Tomorrow we will look at retirement planning. Today we are looking at financial leadership or financial well-being. This is just to set the basic and then the foundation. Tomorrow we will go into the inside out of what is in there for you. Insurance, we will look inside. And then, tomorrow is specific. We are getting inside and then looking at what insurance policy even can you do now. So that the monies that you are taking home will not be, what kind of an entrepreneurial, approach can you even make now? That's what I'm saying, that it is not over. We are, once the strength is there, we are moving. Yes. Yes.
This seminar that they are organizing for us.
Right.
At some years back, 2011, similar but different thing was organized for us.
Okay.
And happened to be, part of the team. The person who took us through that program.
Okay.
Actually told us that we should do well to invest do well to invest. So so that when you go on retirement, you will not find wanting. So when I came back, my attitude towards savings changed entirely.
Right.
And the plan that I have, to build, I started.
Okay.
And truly, when I stick to that,
Made some progress.
I'm now okay.
Oh,
In your design, you said that you said whether a friend asked question whether this thing should have been organized online. What I want to say that similar one was organized for us, but it was organized at the training school. We attended that. Pardon me. No. I say you are sleeping. And about this, ECD had a policy for engineers. They are saying that ECD is a purely technical organization. So you normally give priority to engineers and artisans. So if you join initially with your BSc degree, that one, there's a position that they will put you. And if you are a technician engineer, there's you come first, and you join the company. There's a place where they have to put you. And then when along the line, when you are company and then you are progressing, the technician engineer, the senior technician engineer, and then assistant electrical engineer take the same salary in terms of grade. And then as time goes on, it will be because he had a degree, he has a degree. That one he will progressing. I mean, faster. And when they come to the artisans, their limit, or in terms of grade, it's a senior, and it's like work subordinate. That one is a senior grade. Okay. You see, and like my colleague said, somebody is a foreman for almost 15 years. He has been the artisan for 15 years. And instead of the company to look at that position and then promoting, the person is still there, stagnant. So in this case, when you are being asked to go and do the work, or you are if they give you assignment or something to perform, because of this issue, you will gamble. All right.
The motivation.
The motivation is not there. That's what is now is scaling. Somebody has been the salary grade. Let me put my as example. There was an internal advert for us to apply, and there was an internal advert, and I applied. When I went, the requirement, I made the requirement. Before then, my boss met me, and there was an issue concerning salary scale, and what they told me was that if I don't take care, what they told me was that I ran the salary scale up to end, and they told me that before you can move to different level, unless there's an internal advert. Okay. Meanwhile, I've gone to upgrade myself. I'm a Bachelor of Engineering, and
of course it makes sense. If there is no position,
yes,
you cannot go and fill. So if there is a position, as in then they advertise. Yes. So then you also put in your application.
I also applied the same. I applied. Okay. And when I went, they look at those who came. Not that the person I didn't perform well, but I performed well. But they will say, particularly in this and that, they actually made their mind that this is the person that I'm going to give, no matter how you perform. So in this case, when you come back, and this years you have contributed. Actually, I have trained a lot of engineers. Even those that I trained, they are now general managers at some places.
All right, so I get your point. I get your point. I get your point. But you see, let's put it this way. We will write our report. Okay, we will write our report. Institutions are not perfect institutions. Every institution, okay, it takes time for some of these things to be dealt with. And if workers are not given the platform for them to talk, like this forum, okay, it becomes very difficult for you to really change anything. And so it is good that you are bringing out some of these things. Only God knows what these things you are saying now has impacted on your performance, because you have not had the opportunity, or it has not been addressed. And so you come to work and you realize that instead of you to give your 100%, you are probably giving 40% or 60%. Okay? And some of these things all would affect efficiency. Okay? Would affect efficiency. So we will look at that. You will look at that. In our report, you will look at that. All right. Where we left. What does money mean to you? Your lifestyle. Your lifestyle. These are the key areas by which you look at money. If you are the type that, in fact, your lifestyle will determine how you approach money. Your lifestyle. Not only that, if you are budget conscious, these are the issues. Budget conscious. Like my man, he is a budget conscious. So he wants to sit down and then plan what should go out and what should come in and so on and so forth. So he is budget conscious. It is something, a style that he has really chosen, and that is his lifestyle. And he does this on a monthly basis. It is his lifestyle. And somebody's lifestyle would also mean to say that money makes us happy, or it should make me happy. It should address my concerns, my issues, my problems. So wherever if he has gone to borrow, once he takes the money, he goes to go settle. And normally that is what we do. We borrow before we go and then settle whenever our indebtedness is. So we look at all these things. Somebody is also looking at the goals. What have I set in place? What have I said I will do? So the moment the money comes into his hands, he's not looking at anything. Have I budgeted for it? My goals. It doesn't fall in my expectations. My goals, what I've set aside that I want to do. So it is very much important to look at your goals as in how you approach money. Retirement. Yes, you also said that yes, you have to look at making an investment first. Put some money somewhere first. So he's, retirement conscious, looking at this. It is not the time where, for instance, you have about 5 years to go. My experience with the insurance area, my experience over there tells me that places that I have been to, banking institutions, huge companies, people that are, let's say, 2 years, 3 years down to retirement, then they rush to go and do investment. Okay? Investment is also tied to your retirement. Unless we are to look at, tomorrow we look at that, unless we are to look at what we call the annuity. Annuity is something that we can do whilst you are on retirement, then the money will be what? Will be paid to us. You invest some money into it, and then whilst we are there, on a monthly basis, more or less like the state will be paying you when you go on retirement. That is what we call annuity. And we'll touch on that one tomorrow. Yes. So we have to look at all these things. Your job, security, your job, your emergency fund. When you look at all these things, then you realize that money is not only a resource. It is something that means quite much in terms of the way you have sweated before you got the money. Money, is it coming from the fact that somebody has given it to you as a gift, or you worked for it? Does money work for you or not? Your job. So look at money from this perspective, so that you will be able to psych your conscience to be able to say that, look, when you get money, money is gold. Like the way you see gold, the way you treasure it, the way you put some things, somewhere, that is money. Discuss this and then we move on. What beliefs did you inherit from your parents in money matters? Sometimes the way we think, the way we look at money from the previous life, it is not because it's something that we have borrowed. It is the way we have been what? We have been raised. Our thinking and our mindset, the way we know it to be. For instance, you lived with a father who is always, but we did not take a cue from it. We lived with our parents, or we lived with some people that were, or maybe you were even inherited some properties or some huge sums of money. Because you did not sweat for it, you were just dropping it until the time you realize that the money is finished. You understand? So It is all about the consciousness of who you lead, who you lived with, and the impact that he gave you, the teachings that was given to you in terms of how you have to manage your money. It is very much important. So as parents, like somebody was saying, oh, we should have been taught this thing long time. The question is that your children are also coming. Some of us, our children are in school, very soon they will also come out and then what? Start working. Are you teaching them the same thing? Like what you are being taught over here? Did you inherit that from your parents? So we must also consciously be teaching our kids, as in how to save. Some small susu box or money box at home. Consciously be giving them some 1 cedi, 50 pesos or whatever. Then they keep it in their bedroom or wherever. Then it's a practice that you are teaching them, so that once they also find themselves in the working environment, it is something that it is not the work that taught them. It is the father or the mother that they took it from the house. This is culture. It's something that has been taught by the parent. So what did you inherit? Is first one. What do you remember the most from your childhood in regards to money? It's the same thing over here. What is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the word money? We have discussed all these things. We say Sikaye family. So once the money comes, you must go and then blow it. Yeah, go and spend. Okay. I like our man. He's very honest. He's very honest. So the honesty in here. These are the kind of things that I used to tell those people that I used to meet. Okay. So you remember when I came in, I made a certain statement that retirement is not. It doesn't mean your life has come to an end. Yeah. And as you are here, you pray for more life. Is that also? You are praying that God should give you more life, and God will listen to your prayer that you should live for more years. So if you get 150 years, look at the amount of money if you put everything together here. Your retirement package. Is it going to be sufficient enough for you to stay for the next 40, 50 years? That is the question.
But assuming if you go in retirement and maybe you go and save your money or you do investment with your money.
Yes.
And you do maybe 5 to 6 years time you die. Hey, you leave the money for the family.
So let me.
So enjoy the money.
Okay, so we will get there.
That's all. I'm not like because I'm suffering. I enjoy my life.
All right. Okay. So let me.
I also want to come in here. I want to ask you.
Okay. Hello. There's
what he's saying,
all right.
Assuming you work, you save, you be saving because of that. There's certain things you are not doing. Obviously, doing and taking care of your children, doing that, doing this, doing that, and you are saving. And all of a sudden, before you finish, one day it's gone. You don't enjoy it. Enjoy your money.
You come and enjoy.
Right.
So enjoy the money.
Okay, so we would.
So at times it's good to enjoy your money small.
What is enjoyment here? Let's discuss. What is enjoyment? I'm coming. Please, what is enjoyment? It's a subject matter. For discussion. Enjoyment may not be the same. Your enjoyment may not be the same as his enjoyment. So let's see. Let me hear your enjoyment. What do you mean by enjoyment when you say enjoyment?
Yeah, the enjoyment is at least if you see something nice.
Okay.
Which even after it's expensive, you should buy it.
All right.
And use.
Okay.
Not that because your child school fee is also there.
Okay.
But because of that, you have to leave that one.
Okay.
And that one too is I'm coming. And that one too is there. And not only that one, at times to recreation. You go out with your family to some nice place with your children, blow the money, enjoy yourself, your body.
All right.
Be happy with them.
Very wonderful. Very wonderful. So all these things here, don't forget, it will come in at a limited budget. Don't forget, the money you are talking about blowing, go and blow some and then everything. It is already money that you are already complaining that it is small. So it comes in the fact that whether it is more or it is even in excess, there will still need to be the means for budget, so that you will make room for that recreational, because you must enjoy your money.
Yes.
You have worked for it.
Yes.
Yes.
I beg you.
Yes.
Assuming me like this, maybe better I'll go pension. All my kids are finished school. So you left me and my wife. You see?
Have they completed school?
Yes. Maybe better I'll go pension.
No. Okay, so let's give ourselves, like Chief said, within a year, let's give up, so let's say within 1 year, you are on retirement. Are your children out of school?
Yes.
They've all completed?
Yes.
No, maybe.
No. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So if I take that amount and make my package investment,
okay.
You see, already so far as I'm sitting here, I'm suffering.
Okay.
Paying my school fees and then.
Okay.
So if I go pension and my kids, all of them have completed school,
okay.
I've enjoyed my money because my kids too, they have maybe if I really enjoy my money and still leave the money for them, they will go and marry. They will take care for their kids. So me, as I'm suffering today, if God help me to go on my retirement, that money investment, maybe the investment I will do, the interest, I'll enjoy that money.
He's going to buy shares.
You leave
He's going to buy shares.
the seed money. So like,
Yes.
Okay, so what you are saying,
I want to come in.
And we got to this stage. We have to also go for the younger ones
to get to a certain level.
Exactly.
Right.
Like what the Americans did. People sacrificed and bought America.
Okay.
Those today, they are enjoying because of the sacrifices of their great-great-grandfathers.
All right.
So we also have to do sage to protect, to elevate the new generation that will come.
All right.
And that, fine, you will enjoy, but you have to think of the future, protect the future, help the future to grow.
So here, when he talks about your level of education, you say, I've finished educating my children. Or maybe in the year to come, maybe they would have completed school. At what level are you saying that they have completed school?
They completed university.
University, first degree.
Oh, maybe university. But you should continue, find your work and continue for education.
So I'm coming. Okay, so he wants to talk. He wants to talk. Now he wants to talk. So say something.
And now,
Okay.
my children finish school, they finish university.
Right.
They have to go and fight and do masters.
Okay.
I can't pay money to them to go and do masters.
All right.
I stop them there.
Yes.
That is
All right.
Get my money.
Okay. So he is more concerned about the fact that he must give them a platform. And I think at his level, what he can do as a father, he has been able to fight enough for him to get the children all through to what? The university. Well enough. But like my senior man is also saying, it does not really end there. Because you see, all of us, we've completed school and you realize that you need to join the queue. People have finished school long time and they are still in the queue, waiting. So as a father, you have done your best in terms of providing them with a platform of first degree. All right? Then your child, 2 of them, they come to you. Anytime you apply, they are looking for master's degree people. Because the job requirement is that they need to have master's degree. They have not found any better job, even though they are doing something. Or even they are not doing anything at all. What would you do?
I have to help them.
You have to still help them because you are still the father. You understand? So, but it does not deny you the fact that you don't have to enjoy your money. Your money will still go in there. Don't forget. It is the Bible even says, those that believe in the Bible says that it is the responsibility of the father, mother, who would have to take care of what? The children. It is not the other way around. If they choose to do that as in honor your parents, it is also an obligation. If they choose to honor you, they will be blessed. If they don't, So don't make it look like, why should I, after first degree, why should I still be, you know, and I may even die, and you may not even, or what is the guarantee that when you even find a job, you attend to me, or you even look after me? Don't think that way, because that is not what the Bible says. The Bible says that the parents are supposed to take care of what? Their children. But it's the children who are supposed to honor. So out of what you have done, if they choose to honor, it's a blessing to them. It's a blessing to them. So you have every liberty, the right to enjoy your money. But if your children come to you, now that we're struggling. When we go, they are looking for masters, even though we have the first degree. What would you do? You still would. You know, as a father, you still would. That is where the generation, you know, because you see, whatever you do to them, don't forget, some families, if you see some families are rich, their names are traveling. In here in Ghana here, they have protected their legacy, their wealth.
Exactly.
So the best that a father can give to the children, or the legacy that you can give, is to give them the best of education by way of spending. Education is expensive. I did my master's degree with GIMPA. At that time, around 2010, 2012, it was $8,600. Yes, at that time it was $8,600. So you can just imagine. Now it has gone up. The rate, at our time, the rate was even 1-to-1. Yes, 1-to-1. Now it is what? So you can just imagine. You can just imagine. And yet, after your hard investment in sponsoring your children, you realize that daddy is now tired. Now the children should also work and then bring something home. And still they are not finding job. What would you do? That is a sacrifice. That is a sacrifice. Yes, sir.
Who says so?
Yeah. All of you say so.
Yes.
I say the best way of enjoyment is a peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
If you don't have a peace of mind, whatever you are doing is not enjoyment. It's like taking painkiller.
Right.
After the painkiller work, you will experience the pain again.
Right.
So if you educate even your children, and then they did not get where they're supposed to be on their own,
Yes.
as a parent, you don't have a peace of mind.
Yes.
So your prayer is, it's your duty to educate them, but you must also support them in prayers that let God establish them. Only that you can also have your peace of mind.
Right.
But if
But here we are trying to look at the fact that consistency is key in building financial freedom. Ghana was declared independent, free. More or less like we are talking about being financially free. Financially free, or being in a financial freedom, is to say that you don't have the means to worry about how you shoulder your responsibility. No reason at all. When it comes to for you to be able to handle your responsibilities, everything is quite, in there for you. How do you do that? The consistency in some things. Consistency in some things would grant you the financial freedom. Let's watch the video, and we may pick our key points for us to discuss the issues that will crop up.
The king of the jungle. How can he be the king of the jungle if he's not the biggest? The elephant is probably one of the biggest. He can't be the fastest because that's a cheetah. He can't be the smartest. So he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does the lion become the king of the jungle? His mentality. That's the only difference of a lion and an elephant. When a lion walks up and sees an elephant, he thinks lunch. An elephant thinks run. And it's all mentality. Because when a male lion walks up, he may be outnumbered by a pack of hyenas, I'm king of my jungle because of my mentality. What happens when you're a gazelle and you're not being pushed, you're not being prodded, you're not giving no reward, nobody's encouraging you? What happens when you're a gazelle and the lion's not chasing anymore? You stop running. What happens when you're a lion? When you're a lion, it does not make a difference. You realize that if your family is going to eat, that if that pack of lions is to survive, then you gotta go hunt. A part of being a beast just ain't eating a gazelle. A part of being a beast is the hunts. It's the hunt that they're excited about. They like to see the gazelles run. Then boom, they take off. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process. You're not in love with the process. A true hunter's goal is not the prize. A true hunter's goal is to hunt. That's what they live for. They live to hunt. They don't just live to catch it. It's the whole process. When you are a true hunter, you don't go by time. You go by the gazelle. When you are a true hunter, you hunt until you get a gazelle, and you don't stop until you get one. And then you get another, and then you get another, and you get another. If you don't do what you say you're gonna do, be what you say you're gonna be, you're gonna have to line me out. You a gazelle, you gonna come up short. You a gazelle, you gonna have an average experience. You a student, I need you in lion mode. You an entrepreneur, I need you in lion mode. You trying to lose weight, lion mode. You can't do nothing significant in gazelle mode, nothing. Nothing impressive happens in gazelle mode. Nothing happens in run mode, give up mode, quit mode, scared mode, fearful mode, nothing happens. Everything happens in lion mode like I'm coming to get you.
Right. I think it's self-explanatory. What did we pick from the video?
Yes, I think according to the commentary of the man, he said the lion is not the biggest in the jungle, but the lion believes in himself.
Right.
That whatever he targets, he gets it.
Right.
That's where, so I do what those documentaries, you will see a lion grab animal. They can somersault from the highest mountain, he will never leave it till they fall down. Okay. That means he never give up.
All right.
Yeah.
So it gives us, and then I'll explain. It gives us the explanation that you may probably not be the highest paid employee, staff. But once you have tuned your mind to, I want to build, right from the time you entered, it doesn't have to take you by the time you are exiting for you to have your this. So it is your mentality and what you have set in place. This is what I want to do and achieve it. The lion is not the biggest. The elephant probably is the biggest. But what happens? When the elephant sees the lion, then it's running. The man is the one who meets the responsibility and confront it. How do you confront it if you don't have the mentality to be fearful? The gazelle is always running. As for the gazelle, he's eating something. He's always running. So the video is saying that if you have the gazelle mentality, you run away from your responsibilities all the time. And by the time, or when you realize you are running away from your responsibilities, then you may not amount to anything because you may not even want to work to gather extra income. Yes.
I learned something serious from the video.
Serious.
Comparing to our humans.
All right.
There is a saying that creation of wealth is not a matter of hard working. Okay. Fine. We can be working together, taking the same salary, and then we are all planning to invest. I can sit at one place, take my decisions, plan well. You can be running, chasing other things, and you may be to end you investing in the wrong place. As it used to happen. So that they say these banks have collapsed. And they don't pay back any money to anything. And maybe all your money can be there. But I can sit down and think, this bank
more. All right. Now, I will send part of my investment into some annuity package. That at the end of every month, that is what annuity is all about. That at the end of every month, I would even expect the company to pay me, let's say 1,000 Ghana cedis. as if I'm going to be receiving salary. It is there. So the company will be able to tell you how much you have to invest to be able to receive, even after retirement, every month, 1,000 Ghana cedis. Because at that time, you probably know that, yes, the huge responsibility of taking care of your children and then paying for your bills, your rent and other things, have all been dealt with. Otherwise, you take your retirement package and now you are going to look for what? An estate. A house to start building. And like you said, building a house doesn't take one day. It takes a long period of time. And that is the time where you need to enjoy. If you don't have a car, you need to. Because you see, your strength, even at retirement, is going to dwindle. You cannot be walking, you cannot be doing so much, you have advanced in age. That is simply what the story is. So when it comes to that point, you need to actually relax. You call for it and then it comes. But then again, you can engineer, and I like the way you said, smart way of what? Investing. You can engineer. If you have some, we will touch on this tomorrow. Okay, not only with the investment, other alternative source of income. You can go into farming. Not that you are going to do the tilling and then whatever. You hire people to go into, let's say, a large-scale farming. People are, now you are an employer now. You too, you have employed people. You have your land. People are, and you cultivate some plant and then whatever. And it's fetching you, at least you go there and then you supervise.
Excuse me.
Yes.
We brought in the idea of farming. Sometimes there are rural crises that can hit you and hit you hard. My colleagues, I don't mind them too. I was doing farming.
Okay. Well,
I was doing grass cutter, farming, and unfortunately, this Ebola issue.
Is it that one different from Pekpe?
Including the rabbits. I was
you forgot it.
And it was going well. The science schools present, they come and buy. So they stop buying. And then disease truly came and all that. It should happen that all my investments are on that distance. And it happens that way.
You will touch on that one. Because you see, you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. That is what we call in investment diversification. And we will touch it in fact today. There is an animal that will teach you a certain lesson. That don't put all your eggs in one basket. You see, here today we came to talk about animals and what lessons they are giving us. Okay? There's a particular animal.
There's another issue.
Okay.
A pensioner,
right.
Like what you taught us, he was doing this consultancy work for ECG. He was a former employer of ECG. And he did a lot. And when it got time for him to be paid, unfortunately, this PDS issue came in, and he did it in the time of PDS, and ECG took over. ECG says they can't pay the debt of PDS. So they couldn't pay. The issue is at court now.
And he will win the case because ECG did not take it out of vacuum. They took it from a contract that he gained from PDS. Okay? Yeah. And at that time, everybody knew. So let me put it myself, this way. At the time of PDS, didn't any Ghanaian go there to buy credit? They bought. That one, it was accepted. So it was a revenue that was generated by PDF. PDS at that time. Which coffers did it enter?
Entered to PDS coffers.
PDS coffers. Yes. And who took over?
ECG took over, but they did not transfer the money issues to ECG.
So the question is...
it's not...
that financial thing was closed.
It's not the mass problem.
It's not the man's problem.
But they did not pay him.
No,
that's why you go to court.
That is why it's in court. And I'm saying that once the matter is in court, this one, you contracted me. It's like, let me put it this way. You see this training that we are doing? ECG has contracted me. Then the next month, another company, your company has come to take over. And the ECG has not paid me. Would that company say that because I did not engage you, it was ECG, so they won't pay? No, that is the situation. Yeah. Because it's a consultancy. I don't work for ECG.
No, but the people in trade, they are in PD, but they still in ECG.
Exactly. No. Yes, they are still in ECG.
So why do you want to because that benefit?
Exactly. They will pay, and they will pay with huge. Because when your matter, especially when a case like this, settles in court for quite a long time, if the money were to have been placed in an investment, it would have been yielded what? Interest. So it will be calculated on. And that is where normally they say causing financial losses. By the time the case is over, you would have won better amount of money than what he was.
If he is still alive,
he's still alive.
If he is still alive,
he will be alive.
You are saying maybe he will be thinking in psychological problems.
Yes. But like you were saying, you were trying to talk about the diversification of the issue. Okay. Yes, as a consultant, probably it's not only ECB that we consult. We consult with any other companies. Yes. All right. For instance, what we do here, with Discovery, it's purely consultancy. All right. You'll be training a bank. We just finished training. A hospital management. So you see where the places are. Okay. So it is not a one, and apart from even the training, there is an area where we have to touch on, like business consultancy proper, doing business plan, strategic management sessions and other things. So that is diversified. You understand? Diversified. So you don't have to worry about that. Any other opinion with this video? The mentality of the lion. He will scare you.
The lion has a mentality of surviving at all costs.
At all costs, he must survive. Because you see, that we would strip the lion naked, okay, in one of the slides, to know the characteristics of the lion when it comes to investment, his mentality, what he thinks. Do you know in the jungle that the lion male doesn't hunt? Yes, it's not the male that hunts.
Yes. It's a female.
It's almost at times. All the times.
It's a female that
hunts.
Yeah, they have to take care of the babies.
You can't take the lion share.
Exactly. No. You see, listen to what he's saying. Yes. Because you see, the mindset of the lion is that, you see, as the father, you are the strongest. You are the protector of the home. You understand? You are the protector. So the female lion, or in their mindset, the female must go and do the hunting. I consider that one in the budget. Even when we say personal, it includes even your partner. Because you may also need some things that you need to provide. Then it translates into the financial goals. What will take money from the family? Then joint decision. You consider other people and the fact that they also come in. Your children, your spouse, and then so on and so forth. It may even translate, or it may even move a step further to your parents that are even still alive, their medical bills and so on and so forth. So it is not a blowing. It is not a blowing. You may blow, but it's not a blowing. All right. So how does it impact your financial wellness? With all this process, you have the right to take some money out, plan your goals, your financial goals and your personal goals, joint decision and everything. With all these decisions or with all these things that you want to do, how does it impact your financial life? The goals may even be the fact, okay, there should be some, we would do some goals. All right, so I think at this point, we can take the next exercise as in planning our goals. There is an aspect of the goal setting that probably, if God permit, tomorrow we will do. But that one, I felt it is for the beginners. I felt it's for the beginners. What I mean is for the beginners is that's one. Initially, I was thinking of rerunning this too, as in planning our financial goals. Now, when you see this, but it shows quite a number of things. Now, okay. scientifically, it's been proven that the men, they use their right brain more powerfully. Men are right brain people. Women are left. So when the woman is thinking, he's thinking from the left. When the man is thinking, he's thinking from the right. That is why the man will tell you, you are saying we should spend this, so let's sit down, like my man is saying, plan it, put everything together. The persuade that is going out and everything, that is a logical way of what? Getting things done, put things together. That is using the right brain. Now the woman is saying that he's talking from an emotion. Don't you know that you don't have food in the house? He's not thinking of the budget. He has not gone into your pocket, but he's letting you know. The provision must be made, whether the money is there or not there. But he's not lying. He's also bringing in the fact that there is no money there. But the man will have to sit down and adjust the budget. He said, which one goes here, to satisfy, whatever. So here is the same thing applies to goal setting. If you're able to use the other side of our brain to picture the future, it is more easier for us to achieve it. Because oftentimes, a lot of us are not able to picture the future. That is why we cannot plan it. So if you are asked that in the next 20 years, you live for 40 years.
Amen.
In the next 20 years, how do you see your life to be? Put it here. How would you do it? What I'm doing today, I told you in the morning that about some years back when I was still with there was a session that we were taking, some training session that we were taking, that we were asked, in the next 5 years, what do you intend doing? And what I'm doing now today was what I did. Just to picture, use your brain to picture how the future will look like. And once you're able to use your mind to picture it, you will achieve it. It's not magic. Okay? And exactly what I was given, this one, together with all my colleagues. Okay? And it has, but I've simplified it to mean, look at this. It's the same thing. This is just the summary of it to say, okay, this one is giving you words. You see, when it is words, you'll be able to assign reasons to it. But here, there's no words. He said, why? The main goal. What is your main goal in the next 5 years? What do you want to achieve? Is main, number one, goal. What do you want to achieve? Why? Give at least 3 reasons why you want to achieve that one. You want to satisfy your own self. Convincing your own self that why do you want to achieve these things by giving 3 reasons. Then sub goal, because of course it's not only one thing that you want to achieve within the next 5 years. So sub goals, about 4 of them, 4 things that apart from the main goal you want to do. Now quite apart from that, who you think that in your line of pursuing this agenda, who do you think can help? It could be an institution, it could be your partner, it could be your children. Once you are able to identify such people in here, it's also very good, so that you work hand in hand with them. Not only that, you have to give yourself time frame, timeline, because you cannot work in vacuum, as in, any time. No. You must give yourself a time, that in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, this is what I want to achieve. So for instance, if you want to build, you give yourself a time. It brings the discipline in what? Making sure that you follow your own steps. It is not somebody telling you. It is you assigning reasons, assigning, means to get to your destination. And becomes your Bible. It is not somebody telling you to write anything. It is something that, So what I will do is that I will make a copy for this one. Maybe this one we can take it home. We can take this one home, okay? So that we will plan our own this, and then we can paste it in our yard or wherever, okay? But in a practical way, as in the West form, we have the goal setting agenda here, planning our estate and investment and so on and so forth. Let's answer that one, and that will also help and guide us as in what to do.
Denzel Washington said, goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency. Ambition is the path to success, but consistency is in every area of life. Without consistency, there is no sustained achievement. With a lack of consistency, there is a lack of success. Goals cannot be achieved without consistency. Dreams will not become a reality without consistency. Without consistency, there is no greatness. As Napoleon Hill said, patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. Success is not doing big thing or taking a big step once. It's all the little things you do over and over again that eventually lead to overnight success. You must become relentless in your approach to success. You have to keep going with no matter what attitude. You have to remain consistent in every situation. Consistent in your dream, consistent in your goal. Most people say, I tried my best.
Consistency is the key of achieving everything that we plan to do. Because let's say if you plan to serve, you must be consistent. It will not be easy, but once you keep the consistency, you will succeed. Let's say sportsmen, they train, those sportsmen who take training seriously, consistently, they always be winner. Because sometimes you feel, I cannot go to train the weather, but if you are consistent in everything that you are doing, it's like a blacksmith. When you hit the metal, you must be consistent, hitting it till again the shape. So if you went from that place, started in different place, you might not get in the shape. So consistent to be whatever you want to achieve, either the circumstances against you or not, you must make sure that you follow your goal.
All right. So
you cannot achieve greatness without consistency.
Without consistency, yes. Very powerful way.
I think you have to be tough.
You have to be tough. Because consistency, you need the stamina to be able to remain consistent. There is some something that was said over there, that consistency even goes beyond motivation. Consistency. Because like Madam said, that a situation, sometimes you need motivation to be able to do what you're supposed to do and everything. Now the moment the motivation stops, motivation normally comes from someone else. Someone motivating you to do what you are doing. But consistency is coming from you. The self-discipline in ensuring that whatever you say you will do, you are doing. It's something that comes from the self. But motivation largely comes from the outside. So he chose consistency over motivation. Okay. Any other point? All right. Then let's move on. Of course, some are needs, some are wants. So how do we become consistent in our goal setting and in ensuring that what we have said we will do, we actually get that? And that is budgeting. And it comes to the scenario you gave. The things must be budgeted. Otherwise, it will not find itself in the frame of things, how we want to prioritize and what we should place our emphasis and our priorities on. Scale of preference. It must be budgeted. It must find itself within the basket. So to say that this one is not something that has been budgeted for, so it must be pushed forward. Future consideration. So we have to look at it from our needs and our wants. Our needs are so many. We have so many things that this our small salary we want to do. He wants to do so many things. Enjoyment is inside. This is inside. Buying this, buying that. Everything is inside this small salary. The question is that what can be done first? Balancing the wants and the needs is very much important. But are we able to identify what our wants are? Is there any difference between wants and needs?
Yes.
Okay, so can someone explain?
For instance, I want to fix my air condition within the week. But I realized some monetary issue to somewhere that I have to do it immediately. So I forgo the fixing of the air condition and I did the monetary issue. That was yesterday. Okay. So I that is my want, the immediate problem thing that I have to solve. Then as for the car air condition, I can leave it for.
Okay.
Yes.
So again, we can also cite this example that let's say in your living room, you have a condition in the house, and there is fan too. Okay, the air condition is not working, but alternatively you can put on the fan at least for temporal, but then there is a pressure for you to restore the air condition so that you would enjoy the coldness and then everything. The money is not enough. So what do you do? At one point, one is a want and one is a need. If there is no fun, or even and the other way around, if you should choose between using fan and air condition, which will save costs, you can then decide that okay, instead of using air condition in my room, I will probably use fan. And that cost saving is also going to help you in the long run. So we should be able to identify what is our want and what is our need. And all these things are things that are going to help us save. No matter how small the savings may come, it is going to help us be able to inure to our benefit in terms of the bigger project that we want to do. Otherwise, we would always say that our money is small. And money would always be small because it won't take us home. It depends on, you see, when you look at the set, there are so many things that we want, especially when the money comes. When the money comes, that is why you will have to define what money means to you. Money means enjoyment. Once you have the mindset of money being an enjoyment vehicle, it means that anytime it comes to your pocket, you must find itself, to enjoy. Okay? All right. Money and budgeting. How we draw our budget. Do we have something like once at the end of the month we have received our money, or we have a budget template to say that this is how our money is to be spent within the month? Do we consciously have something like that? Yeah. Yes, sir. You want to say something?
Yes. We budget how I budget is that.
Okay, so share your experience.
At the close of the month, whatever I receive, I look at it before I draw my expenditure. Okay. I don't draw the expenditure before the money comes, because when I draw the expenditure and maybe the money doesn't meet that expenditure, it will be like I over budgeted. So whatever comes into the account, I sit down, budget, and see and make sure there will be a little leftover.
So, okay, considerably, typically what are the issues or the key imperatives, the key issues in your budget? What do you consider in your budget?
In my budget, the first thing is the money that will keep the house on food.
Okay, so you budget for food. You budget for food. Okay, so let's try to. I think we can do this simple exercise that we all would have to do our budget in order of preference, because it's here. We will meet it. Okay. How do we assign percentages to our budget? I think we can use about 2 minutes to do this one, so that we can discuss. Yes, let's use 2 minutes to discuss. Draw our budget, because we must budget. Otherwise,
it's already in my pocket.
Oh, okay. Your budget is in your pocket. So you see, everywhere he goes, it's like a manual.
Exactly.
The manual is in his pocket. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So food is one. What percentage do you place on food?
Since the food is everyday use,
yes,
I place 40% on food.
40.
Does it include jobs? Or you get from jobs?
No. When we are talking about budgeting, it means all the incomes that you are receiving.
Every income.
Every income. So not only from your major source, all the income, your streams of income, where it is coming from. Okay, so you see that. Okay, so at the end of the month, you think you get 1,000. So you are saying that 40% of the 1,000 should go into food. That is what you say. Okay, so what other thing?
Bills.
Bills. When you say bills, what kind of bills?
Water, lights, gas, fuel.
Go beyond it. So I go for it as at how UCD gave it to me. You see that I'm talking about the income.
The income.
As at UCD gave it to me, and when I take the like transport, I have an envelope that I've written transport on it.
Oh, okay.
So anytime, like budget, anytime I want to do work or I want to buy fuel, I don't go to the other source. I go to that envelope. That even like it have been taking me to the end of the month, because sometimes I don't even use the vehicle. I try to take trotro, because we have to look at.
Yes, I mean it's very much important.
You see,
yes.
So after the vehicle, maybe utility, my light bill, and then the boiler and the DC, and then they give us rent. From the rent, if I'm not doing anything specifically in the house, maybe I don't have any repairs or these things, all those money I have to transfer it to an investment at the end of a certain month. So and then before I will come to miscellaneous and then those other ones. So always there is something that is being left from maybe the other source.
In your budget, for instance, it's written on them to say that okay, this is your transportation, account. That any time either your wife, your children, or whoever is moving anywhere, if it borders on transportation, then you go into that envelope, and that is why. And that is the consistency and the discipline. To say that if we consume all the money within this envelope, which is meant for transportation, then nobody's traveling. Either we will travel, but then the means of traveling, if we are to use Uber, now this time we will use Trotro, because now we realize that we are depleting the funds meant for transport, and it's a discipline.
I have.
All right.
But the others, that one there, the budget is always in my pocket.
Okay.
Okay. So I know what to do at what. But the emergency fund, that one is different. It's at home.
Okay. So do we have a medical
yes.
expense in our budget?
Yes.
Because if you are not sick, your child may fall sick, or the institution has.
The institution has.
Okay. So for instance, if you are doing budget, you could say that a colleague of yours who find himself in another institution, who probably may not have what the medical to cover the children, you may decide to even still budget it, and look out for how much should you have been, if in case you would not have been covered, how much you would have been paying for the bills or whatever. You could still create an envelope or an account in your house or wherever to make room for such a
medical.
Yes. So that if at the end of the month nobody falls sick, because it's part of the budget items that we must put in place. So if by our prayers God watches over us and nobody gets sick, it becomes an investment, even though it was meant to be spent. It becomes an investment, but we are not looking at it from that angle. Because you see, we budgeted for it, nobody has used it. It becomes an investment. So that money, it has to be pushed into something that will work and generate income for us. It shouldn't stay there. Next month you still budget. So that money, even if it's 200 Ghana cedis or 300 or 500 Ghana cedis, it must quickly be put into an instrument that will generate income. If it's with you, it will not generate anything. So even if it's 50 cedis that it will add to, it has been pushed. The following month, you are still praying. Nobody gets sick. Now it is what? 1,000. Is that not so? It is 1,000. It will generate interest, that particular month too, even if it's 20 cedis. How much do we have? 1,070 Ghana cedis. Is that not so? Yeah. That is how we grow. Because we are conscious of the budget that we have made. And the fact that the what we put in place, okay, it is not all that have gone into what? Expenditure. So those that have not gone into expenditure and the following month will also come and we budget, these ones we have to push them into an investment. That is how we do it. Yes, sir.
This is a personal question. Maybe it will help all of us.
All right.
Looking at the current economic trend, like you are saying, if we've been putting monies aside at the banks, maybe having at the back of our mind investment ideas. Right. What threshold of money do you think if you put in an investment, it can earn you a very lucrative interest?
Okay. Very interesting question. Investment comes with different returns. Yes. And the higher the risk, the higher the returns. And it's not everybody who has the shock absorbers. Because if you go and push your money into some men's goals, you are doomed forever. You will die early. You will die early. You understand? So you will have to balance. You will have to look at how you will have to what should I say? Do a mixture, okay? So that there are some monies that are for immediate use, even though it's into an investment. But if you call for it, it is liquid. It will come fast. You don't have to go through the process, okay? And an investment grows with time too. So you need to allow yourself the time for it to grow. Because you see, the longer you stay in an investment, the more money you get. Okay. So if you want more money, there are two things in here. Either you are prepared to invest huge, so that you get more returns. It is the quantum of the money you are investing that brings the returns. Sometimes even the returns could even be negotiated, depending on the amount you are sending. Yes, but if your money is flat, they will give you a flat.
So in this case, let's assume I've put monies aside. If my salary comes, I leave some, and then now I have in my bank account 5,000.
Right.
My savings.
Right.
And then it's not yielding anything. What type of investment, if I put that money in, can fetch me an interest? Like I say, so that over the years, if it's rolling. Yeah.
Yes. Normally our securities are always found in the treasury. Our security, because that is where it is risk free, because of the fact that it is tied to the government, yes, and then everything. So in fact, when the government owes you, they will pay whatever the situation. They fix them, yes. So these are the areas that we can look at. But again, even within that sphere, I mean the space, you realize that the quantum of your money also can even determine the kind of rate they give you. All right. So we can look at the fixed deposits area, the treasury bill area, as in stocks. Okay. That place, if you don't have the shock absorbers, you cannot stress it. You see, the returns of how well the company is doing will determine your cash value and things like that. So that one too is also not, if you don't have what it takes. But people are there. The higher your investments.
So between the fixed deposit, yes, and then the treasury bill,
yes,
which one is preferable?
Normally we would have to look at, because you see now the inflation rate is also something. You understand? So we would have to be much more careful in trying to decide on specific investment. But over the years, treasury bill has always been comfortable for a lot of people. Treasury bill, and then the fixed deposit have been thin. But then again, you still have to look at the quantum of money and the institution that you want to place your money.
The interests.
Yes, you have to look at those areas. Again, in the insurance areas too, it's not all the insurance companies that are bad. All right. In the insurance areas too, we can also look at the annuity system. The annuity. Tomorrow we will touch on that one, where some quantum can be given to the insurance company, and then an agreement will be signed for, after your retirement every month, depending on how much
they are paying salaries.
Yes, paying salaries.
That one, your principal.
Yes.
That doesn't mean if you need it, you can get that one.
No, that is why we call annuity. It is that money that is fetching you the monthly returns. Because if left to you, if that money is with you, you chop that
But
one.
in case you have no more there, the money is that money.
There is a
cannot be
way.
refunded.
There is a way out with annuity system. But then again, what I would say is that you need to still find out the inside of the clauses, the detailed information about the annuity, and whether it is a suitable place for you to really enter. Because if the money is in your hands, you may misuse it. So why not hand it over to this institution, and then they promising you that every month this is what they are going to give you until the time you die. That is what annuity is all about. Until the time you die. Annuity.
So now if you
So
got
if you got
capital,
somebody
It's gone.
So, and I'm saying that it may come because some insurance,
risk in there.
everything, you see the risk in not saving is much more higher. That you will chop it tomorrow, and that your 40 years you may not, you may still chop your 40 years, and there will be no money for you to enjoy. You'll be broke for 40 years. Seriously.
And the risk involved also is if you sign, okay, you put your money into annuity.
Yes.
You take about 6 months, and then you pass away. Like you are saying, the risk involved is you are not getting the more money back.
Right.
So that's where the risk also.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that we need to find out the particular institution, and then the details. Yes. But again, let's say you choose, you go there, and then you are told that okay, after 6 months, let's say it happens in 6 months, and then the money will be. What if you won't die for the next 6 months, and yet you chose not to push your money into something that will earn you on a monthly basis, some at least good money to keep you alive or survive you, all right? And then the money in your hands, you use it. You use it.
Yes, sir. And so you have to weigh both sides.
Yes. So in whatever situation,
look at, like you are saying, look at how the policy is.
Yes. If I were working for any of them, I would have brought them. All right. But I'll still find out.
Yes, sir. Let us use Senate as an example.
Okay.
What I know about Senate is that when you go on retirement, monthly you'll be taking it. If you die before 73 years, which I know.
72.
Now it's got to come to first it was 75. First it was 75. Because of my father.
Okay.
I know. If you die before 75, there's a money that they will calculate and then give you to the family or the children.
That's a lump sum.
But if after 75 years, that time when you die, nothing for anybody again.
Okay.
So they have different.
What do you
Seriously. So when you go to the insurance company, they too they have other things.
Yes.
They will tell you. If you like, go inside. If you don't like, come on.
Life insurance.
We will do.
SNIT policy is different from.
No, they have changed the policy.
Policies change.
Differ.
You know, tomorrow we
Now
will.
it's down 72. No, it's down 72 currently.
Go and buy blocks.
Tomorrow we will do insurance. We will take insurance as a topic, and then it's part of what we are doing tomorrow. And we will take SNIT as also another topic, and then we will do that the first year, the second year, and then so we will do all those things. It's because the first year is not enough.
Yes. Is not enough.
That is why the second year had to come. Even the second year is still, there's still room for you to go for the third year. We will discuss all these things and see the features, what is in there for all of us. Yes. Any other one? Okay, so budgeting, I believe we who handle the bills and the bill payment and so on and so forth. These are discussions that we normally do at home, because the one who is to handle the bill, normally if he's the man, there's a lot of negotiation that goes on, especially when the understanding is not there. That is why it is much more important for us to plan. Planning is the key to driving the whole issue. Otherwise, if your goal is here, the man's goal is here, the children are also thinking their way, through it and everything, you realize that you cannot properly plan and get to whatever you want to do as a family. And you cannot plan as a man without a woman. So realistically, we need to put things together. All right. So who pays the bill? Who pays what? Because you see, when we look at our income, what is coming into the family? Of course, the woman is also working. Okay, so what is brought on the table? Who handles what? Bills.
You allow them to see what is coming inside the family.
They are something they always say.
3 basic steps you can take to make the most of your money. 1. Create a budget. 2. Set savings goals. And 3. Tackle your debts. When put into practice, these steps can have a big impact, not only on your monthly budget, but on your overall financial future. One of the first steps to better money management is to create a budget and stick to it. This might sound simple, but you'd be surprised how few people actually do it. You can think of your budget as your guide to reaching your financial. If you have trouble covering all your expenses each month, a budget can help you avoid overspending. That's because your budget can help you see and understand exactly where your money is going and whether or not your spending is in line with your personal goals. The next step is to set savings goals. With your budget in place, building your savings will be that much easier because you'll know how much extra money you have each month to allot to your goals. One of the best savings goals to start with is an emergency fund. Building up an emergency fund to help cover unexpected expenses like a sudden medical bill, major home or car repair, or even a job loss can help you avoid going into debt when life throws you a curveball, which it will. Instead of borrowing money to cover these emergencies, you'll already have the money saved up, and this could end up saving you a lot more money in the long run. Start by building up 3 months' worth of expenses as a goal. Once you've established an emergency fund and are living within your budget, you can then figure out some long-term savings goals. Whether you decide to plan for your retirement, or save for a home improvement, college, or even a well-deserved vacation, you'll be better able to set aside some money and have a timeline for reaching your goals. The third step is to tackle any debts you have. First, as you're working to pay them down, you'll probably want to stop adding to the debts you already have. The less debt you have, the easier it'll be to get out from under it. It could also be helpful to know what your debt is costing you each month. Once you know how much your debt costs, you can create a plan that helps you reduce it and eventually pay it off. The sooner you get started, the more money you can save. It's worth noting that managing your debt and your savings go hand in hand. For instance, if you have a debt with a very high interest rate, it may make sense to focus on paying it down at the same time, or even before you build your entire emergency fund. As you make a plan to tackle your debt, setting target goals can help you stay on track as you actually see and feel the progress you're making. These 3 steps are the basic components of money management, and it's easy to see how they can work together. By keeping a budget, you'll know what you have available to accomplish your savings goals and tackle your debts. Having an emergency fund can help you avoid adding any new debt. And occasionally checking in, reviewing your budget from time to time, can help you set long-term savings goals, like a down payment on a home, as your priorities and circumstances change. Now that you have an understanding of the basics, why not take the next step? Being smarter with your money, learning new tips and techniques can help you today and down the road.
You see that the payslip become free, not loan. And when it become free, they increase the savings on the payslip. So by the time that you are going home, you have a huge savings which can invest to anything. But if you create debts on the payslip, you will be going and then be paying back to your business.
Your theory in that thing is theory, but practical is you can't be doing this.
Why is it that they cannot?
I know say my child cannot go to Ghana International. I don't have such huge money to pay.
Exactly.
They can equally go to another school and still perform.
All right.
Depending upon the treatment you give them.
Right.
So you look at those things.
So this video is trying to say that some of us, before the end of the month, what our pay slip is already pregnant with a lot of loans, or places where we have already borrowed. So when we take our money, we are taking to service the debt. All right. So we go home with nothing. Meanwhile, you have worked for the month. And these are the things that he's saying that if proper budgeting is done, there are some things that can be cancelled out. For instance, we try to interrogate our sister's budget. Interrogate it to say that, okay, instead of filling all the 3 cylinders, at least you can do 2. You have saved 1, which could be pushed into what? A savings or an investment. All right? Unless there is an emergency where you see that there is gas shortage. That one, emergency fund. Creating an emergency fund, which will push, that amount can be pushed into an emergency fund.
Yes, excuse me, let me help you in that one.
Yes.
So some of us, that is why, apart from the gas, there's a reserve charcoal, which maybe we use as a backup.
All right.
So if you don't have, the gas has finished.
Yes.
For the meantime, manage the charcoal.
Exactly.
So
you see, it's all about our habits. The habit is that for me, if the gas is not there, I cannot use charcoal. And what it takes you to get the gas in place, it is more expensive than getting the charcoal. Once we try to satisfy the quest for the gas, other things that should have even taken priority, as in the major, that is the main goal. The main goal is what? To be able to save, at least to get a house. Because if these small savings do not come, how do we get a house? And the charcoal and the gas thing is really, impacting our budget heavily. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Any other thing, we may run so that we'll be able to place the balance. Our income versus our expenses. Do we have a balance? Where do we strike the equilibrium? Our income has come. We generated what ECB is paying us and where the other sources of income are going to come from. The question is that, is it on purpose what we intend spending? Is it on purpose? Because you see, there are 3 key issues over here that must be established when it comes to the income, in and the expenditure going out. Anytime you think of spending, you think of these 3 P's. That is purpose, priority, and your pursuit. The pursuit is measuring things that are even much more longer. So it has been defined. To achieve financial balance, we must check the alignment. If you are driving a car and there is no alignment, you see how it will move. There must always be an alignment. Because there is no alignment, you realize that the income is coming all right, but the expenditure is overboard. And so you see the man is not happy. The alignment is not there. If what you are doing in terms of work is giving you the income, and the income stays at where it is supposed to stay, you'll be happy. But the money comes, and it has already been borrowed or is in debt, so you are using that to service debt. You have been paid, but 1 week after your payment, everybody is happy, but you alone, you realize your condition is still the same. It's because
when the pay comes, you have to go and then balance the banks. Oh, bank. This thing, went on, and then the management decided that no. They said, we can't allow this to continue. So what they did was that, what they did was that they look at there was a clause that if your balance and everything, it should be more than 40%.
Right.
So they did that thing, and they realized that no, it's exceeded that what they call that amount. So if you collect that money, they used to defray some and then they will maintain the salary that percentage 40%. They will maintain it so that you will not go in for a loan again.
Okay. In fact,
that's what they did for you. Because
that is alignment. Does it fall in the purpose? The reason why the money has been collected, very much important. Not only that, determine what is important. Even though it is part of the purpose, like there is all the 10 issues are to be addressed. But still the money is not enough to address all the issues. So that is where you need to give a scale of preference, your priority, your pursuit. Is it going to inure to the larger goal, as in, is it helping you to retire? Let me say this, if not because it is mandatory for SNIT to do the deduction at source before your salary is given, and that the money will have to be given to us before the
Trouble will come.
Don't try.
Don't go there. Trouble will come.
Today, how much do you want to spend today? You see, it's a consistency. It is a daily affair. So today, as you plan to come to work, how much have you planned to spend today? It is not like I will spend, or let me put some money in my pocket. As I am coming out, I think my food has been budgeted. What I will eat has been budgeted. 2, what will go into my transportation and everything. Of course, you always must plan for emergency. How do we call it? The emergency fund. Okay? So in case I meet a friend that I need to pay the transport for in whatever. So you always make room for 1 or 2 issues, that will crop up. It's very much important. And of course, do your budgeting, your spreadsheet. There must be something that will guide you. Who has seen somebody who is building without a plan? In fact, even you, the engineers, you understand the thing much more proper. Who is an engineer who would go and plant or your thing that will not see the sketch first? No, you cannot. So you understand planning much more. Recreation, it is part of it. It's but it is better not to. He said, our own budget, because the money is even small. Okay. All right. Yes, there is a story. There is a real life story.
A friend of mine.
Okay.
He has made his budget all right, and he's going home, and he has left only his transport for money. He bought the trotto. They are calling the people in there. He's inside the trotto now. The in-law also came. Okay. They come and sat inside the trotto.
Right. What would you do?
I have not seen.
I was saying, not everybody's opinion that you will take. When the person come and make a request, if you want to do that, say yes to everybody's opinion, you don't move forward. Some of them you have to close your eye. I want to give a typical example of what happened last week. When I was invited for a program, I looked my budget, I've spent more, and it's running to 0. Right. So I delegate somebody. I know that definitely they will demand money. Right. So I delegate.
When you go in person,
exactly. So I delegate the person, and the person went and received the information, and the dues they paid, he did not pay. Right. So you see the way I say it.
Sometimes the wisdom must play. Sometimes wisdom must play, and your guy used wisdom. At that point, he has to save his name, even though he has to work. But he uses wisdom. Protect your integrity. Protect your integrity. Right.